I know that there's a lot of you guys out there that you want to take care of your mom. Like that's one of your priorities. You want to like retire your mom and she's like your number one person. I know a lot of people like that. I just finished up a little work block here. This is my office, by the way, guys. I might as well just show you the reality of what I'm working with here because I moved in about a month ago to this it's like a apartment condo, whatever the fuck. I call it the fortress. It makes me feel cool. This is the setup right now. This is my desk. Fucking look. 2 espressos, muscle milk, Mountain Spring Valley water. Doesn't get any better than that. Ooh, this is a cool video. This is gonna be a cool video. I'm gonna do a little deep, intense training for those guys that wanna build their coaching businesses. But guys, look at this view. Dude, this place is crazy. Anyway, the other day I brought my mom out to Miami. She lives in Sarasota. She lives like in another part of Florida, about 4 hours away. But I flew her to Miami, first class. She loved it. She said she felt so spoiled. She said she felt like a brat. It's just so funny because my mom is not that way at all. She's literally the most humble person. One of the most humble people I've ever met in my life. But I remember she said to me, she was like, or I said, is this your first time flying first class? She said, yes. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. But then I should have known, like, when would my fucking mom ever justify a first class flight? For me, it made way more sense to fly my mom. First of all, just to fly her versus driving out here. And then to put her on a first class flight because it's peace of mind. Get what I'm saying? Like, think about it. It's your mother, right? And by the way, for those guys who haven't flown first class, it's amazing. It's like night and day compared to coach, in my opinion. The seats are bigger. You have way more room. They're nicer to you. They give you food. They like take care of you. They treat you. You're the first one on the plane. You're the first one off. It 100% takes away a lot of the stress of flying. And I've literally been stuck next to fat people on planes before, and it just is not a good experience. Guys, I flew my mom out here first class and, put her in a really nice hotel, took her out to a really nice dinner on the water. There was this boat in the water, this giant yacht in the water. It turns out it was like one of the daughters of Walmart, granddaughters of Walmart. It was like her boat or something. So it's super cool. Like my mom is not used to seeing things like that. She would never do stuff like this if I wasn't doing it for her. You get what I'm saying? She could just never justify it. But I think back to a time not that long ago when I was not able to take care of my mom and really not able to even take care of my fucking self. And that was really the worst part, is like I couldn't get my shit together enough to take care of myself, so I couldn't take care of other people. And dude, like literally one of the most important things for me was taking care of my mom. Like honestly, in some of my worst moments and one of the deepest things for me is like just being able to support her and my family. Now, I have an older brother, he's married. I have a sister, she's married with a husband. And then I have another sister, she's, a little bit younger, but she's not married. But generally my mom is like the one person that I find that it's becoming somewhat of my responsibility to take care of her, especially, as both of us get older, right? And I remember, dude, like when my parents got divorced, my mom took it extremely hard. Regardless of the financial aspect of it, my mom was heartbroken, and she took it really hard. And the worst thing about that entire situation is that I couldn't fucking do anything about it. I couldn't do anything about it. We were like losing our house. We were basically losing everything. And I I just couldn't help my mom. I just didn't have the money to do it. And also, I was scared. I was like, what the fuck is even going on with my life right now? Like, why are all of these things happening? And especially at once. And I remember when, because I posted about this on my Instagram story. And I said, I'm flying my mom out first class. She's never flown first class. You know, it's a lot of people's dream to do the things for their mom that I'm able to do for my mom. You know, and trust me, I have a lot more in store. I want to do a lot more. But it took so long to get to that point because I had to grow so much. Like, I wanted to make money, and I would tell my mom and I would tell my sisters, like, I'm gonna be a millionaire, you know, I'm gonna blow up on social media, and I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. And is that what I wanted to do? Yeah, of course. But I was scared, and I was kind of a coward. You know what I'm saying? I every time shit got hard, I would stop, I would quit, I would turn back. And I always used the gym to cope with that, and I made the gym my number one thing, which it ended up helping me, but it was like I had to wake the fuck up and realize how important making money was. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm watching my mom suffer, but it's not really clicking in my head that, like, I could probably do something about it if I had the financial means. Like, I could definitely help my mom out in some way, shape, or form if I had the financial means, but I don't have it. And a lot of it too was kind of like, it confused me because my mom was always taking care of me, and she was always, you know, saying, hey, you know, you can sleep on my couch, you can sleep on my floor, whatever it is. You'll always have a roof over your head, which I always thought it was nice, and it was. She was being motherly, she was being nurturing, but she didn't realize that in order for me to get to the point where I needed to go to be able to help her, I needed to reach a level of independence in my life. I needed to reach a point in my life where I didn't care about my feelings right now as much, and I can just lock the fuck in, double down, and focus on becoming the best possible man that I could be. You know, it was, I remember it was like my mom's, I remember we woke up one day and my mom was an Uber driver. And that's like one of the jobs she was doing when she was in California. And dude, she literally, we go outside, or she goes outside to start her day of work, and her fucking car is just gone. Her car got repossessed. And I just remember the look on my mom's face when she walked into the apartment. She was like, my car's gone. It's just gone. They towed it. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, are you serious? Like, everything we're going through right now, we're already broke. You know, it's like me, my mom, my two sisters, we're all in one apartment. My mattress is like propped up on the wall, I remember. So we could just be in the living room. And her car was gone. So not only did she lose her source of income, she was doing a lot. She was driving a lot for Uber and Lyft. She was doing like crazy hours. You know, and that's another thing that scared me too. I was like, fuck, these random ass people are getting in my mom's car. Like, you just never know. You never know. So it was like, that made me feel even more like shit. And I put even more pressure on myself. And I remember how distraught my mom was. And imagine seeing that and not having any fucking idea what you're gonna do to fix that situation, but knowing that something 100% needs to happen. Like, the only feeling that I can explain was like, it was just like, you start to feel wild. Like, you almost feel like a lot of the little things don't matter anymore. And it's almost a liberating feeling, right? And the spot and the feeling and the point in time that I'm talking about are those rock bottom moments. And I believe that those moments are very spiritual. I believe that those moments are actually gifts from God. Because I remember that moment and then a few other moments happening. One of the moments, I won't get too much into it because it's not really as important as when it comes to the story, but this was another moment that really affected me. I was riding a bike. Think about it. I'm 22, 23 years old. I'm riding a bike to the gym because I don't have a car. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get money for a car? That's like so much money. It didn't make sense in my head. So I'd ride my bike to the gym, and then I actually end up talking to this girl at the gym. This like, I thought she was really pretty, and we were talking. And then we even hung out. And then she saw that I left the gym on my bike, and she ghosted me. Like, that actually happened. Like, and I knew why. It was because I lied to her. I lied to her and told her that I had a car. I lied to her and told her that I had it all set up, and I was like, I was like a trainer and all this shit. I was lying to her. And it was those moments where I was like, wait a second. I'll go, what the fuck am I trying to do right now? I'm trying to date girls, and I'm trying to do all this extra shit outside. I was trying to also build my Instagram and do all that shit, but then I wasn't building me as a man. And that's the fucking delusion of some people. And literally I lived in it, so I know, is like, you have these big fucking dreams and these big goals, right? Or these events that will happen and that will change the trajectory of your life. And then it happens, and then you're like, okay, well, I want to get to the next level, or I'm tired of this, I'm going to make a change. And all you do is you focus on what you want, but then the daily action steps that are necessary to get there are not being executed on. You're going to make yourself go insane. No one's going to believe in you, trust you, and it's going to be extremely discouraging. And that's the reality that I lived in. I didn't understand, because up until that point, I lived somewhat of an easy life. Like until my parents got divorced, the worst thing that ever happened to me, was a bad breakup, which was, it was bad, but, my life was, I was coasting, I wasn't, I don't come from, I wasn't like I didn't grow up dirt fucking poor. I actually had a decent childhood. My dad had a pretty decent job, and outside of him, like, kind of quitting his jobs and then just kind of like, then my mom would work, and then my dad would work, and then I just remember like my dad working, then not working, then my mom working, and then not working, and us like going to the food bank, and then like we had money and then we didn't. But I was never like homeless. I was never like on the fucking street. But that doesn't matter. See, that doesn't matter, because the truth is that most people were in that spot that I was in. They don't come from rich families. They're also not growing up. I made this joke, which is not really a joke, but they're not growing up getting fucking shot at. Their house isn't getting shot at, and they're not, around gang activity and severe crime and everything like that. They're in that middle spot. They're just average family. Parents get divorced, they go through some financial struggles, and honestly, after that happens, it really only takes a few more bad decisions to really end up in a completely fucked up place. Like homeless, drug addict, we're talking like that type of vibe. Get what I'm saying? I remember it affected me so much. And I always held on to those moments. Always. That's why I'm talking about them right now, and why I still vividly remember the look on my mom's face when she walked in that door and her car got repossessed and she had nothing to drive. I remember hearing my mom cry in her room because she was so sad over my dad when they got divorced. And plus our lives had completely changed. Like the life that I knew as a teenager, my life completely turned upside down. Like I didn't actually think my parents would get divorced. I didn't think that any of that shit would happen.
But now looking back to it, if it didn't happen, I would not have been pushed to who I am today. All of that shit had to fucking happen. I'm honestly glad that it did. I mean, my life is completely different now. I fly my mom first fucking class just to come see me for a weekend and pay for everything. And then some. So to be at that spot 5 years ago, 6 years ago, even 3 years ago, I was doing manual labor, still making like $3,000 a month, to being here now and just how different my life is. Like, fuck the apartment. And like, nice shit is just nice shit. It's cool. Like, I like nice stuff sometimes, but it doesn't fucking matter. It's the man that I had to become in the process of all that bullshit that I dealt with. Who did I have to become? Who did I have to become? And what were the traits that were fucking necessary to be able to get the fucking life that I wanted? That's what I started to double down on. See, because it didn't matter what my financial goals were at that point. See, I wrote on a piece of paper, oh, I'll be a millionaire by this time and I'll have this, that, and the other. But it didn't matter what my fucking goals were. It didn't fucking matter because I didn't accept the fact that I had to fucking change fundamentally as a fucking man. I had to become a man. And I know there's a lot of you guys out there because you messaged me when I made that post on Instagram. And when I talk about this stuff, you comment below. Because you know, you want to take care of your mom too. Well, don't be fucking delusional. And if you're serious about that, if you want this, me and my mom, if you want this to be your reality, look how happy she is. It's not because of the money. It's not because of the money. Look how happy I am. It's not because of the money. The money is just an addition. She's happy because of who I'm becoming. Who I'm becoming and who I am is the only reason I can make the money that I make. I think about it sometimes. I'm like, I wake up or I'll be hanging with the boys or whatever, and I'll be like, there's a reason that I'm still here. There's a fucking reason I had to go through all of that shit. When I meet some of you guys at the gym, on the fucking street, especially downtown Miami, and you come up to me and you say, yo, I love your shit. Yo, you're real as fuck. Or I like, this, your shit really helps me, whatever. You know what I think to myself? I think back to who I was in those moments and the conversations I had to tell myself when it was so fucking hard, when I had no good reason to think that I could do this. No one encouraging me to do it. I was the only one. I had to get up every fucking day and make this decision. I had to fucking do it when I was the only one. I think back and I think how fucking fortunate I am to just wake up and say, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna fucking give up. I may be slow right now. I may be moving slow. And you guys may be past me, right? And you may be doing well, and I may be moving slow, bro, but I'm fucking coming. And when I'm expressing everything that I went through, everyone's gonna know, and I'm gonna know too, because I'm gonna look back and think all of that shit had to happen. All the times that I overcame the pain, I was learning the lessons, and I was in those moments. It wasn't about the wins. It wasn't about any of that. It was in those fucking moments I was becoming the man that I needed to become. A lot of you guys asked, like, what was that one moment? There was a bunch of them. Stop thinking that there's going to be this one defining moment. It's the lessons you take from every moment. It's your ability to take away value out of even the mundane shit. See, now we live in this crazy fucked up fucking society now where people think, oh, maybe I need to like go to jail to be hardcore, or maybe I need terrible things to happen to me so I can become strong. No, guess what? That's a cop out too. Because a lot of you guys don't even come from terrible fucking backgrounds. You don't. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find the value in the mundane shit. Nothing spectacular has to happen for you to realize that you're not pushing your life to the fullest potential. Never forget that. No victim.